Okay.
You can answer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the segment of Where Are They Now? Catching up with our Olim. And today we are speaking with longtime Beth Aaron members, Cal and Barbara Feinberg. And welcome to our series, a special series, Speaking to our Olim. So let's get started. Can you tell me how many years you were members of Beth Aaron?
40 years, almost to the day.
Wow. Wow. Okay, you're the winner so far. You're the longest members I've spoken to so far. And when did your Aliyah plans come about? You know, how long was it from the time you decided you wanted to do this till you actually moved?
That's not in the question.
Well, I'm throwing it out to you.
All three of our children made Aliyah. So
Yes,
when
where
we
they
were
are.
planning retirement, we realized Florida really wasn't a good
We're going out
option.
of the way. We're not
So-
taking Florida.
We started the process probably around October, November, contacted Nefesh B'Nefesh. They have a whole questionnaire that you fill out. You send it to them, they check it to see that you've answered all the questions that the Misrad HaKlita is going to ask you. And then they forward it on to Misrad HaKlita. So you do have to figure about something about 6 months.
Okay. Okay. And so Aliyah was always in your long-term plans.
No, no, let's go back. Aliyah was not in our plans.
Florida was in your plans.
Nothing. No, Florida was not. Our children came backwards. The youngest, Deborah Lee, came. Then David came. Then when Danny came, we said, we have no children here. Then we started thinking about it. This was not a long-term dream coming here. We
Okay.
have to be honest. Not being with our children was very important. Our 3 children are here, Baruch Hashem. We came so we could be part of their lives. The grandchildren see us. Our boys are in Ramat Beit Shemesh and our daughter's in Har Koma.
Okay, wait. So let's start with Deborah Lee. She went there first. So what year did she come and tell us, catch us up about her?
I would have had the years
She
down.
got married in 2004, and then in
2005.
2005, her husband was going to be learning in Grus. So
You can
they
do too
came, quote, for the year. Well, the year never ended.
Okay,
Finally, after about 4 or 5 years, they said, yeah, we're making Aliyah.
okay.
And then your next son?
David came in, I would have had it in front of me.
Okay. Okay. Where is he?
2015
So where is he now? Where's David now?
in Ramat Beit Shemesh. I said
In
both
Ramat
our
Beit
boys are in Ramat Beit Shemesh.
Okay.
All right, Danny came 2 years before us. So that would be 2012.
Mhm.
So that was easy to say. That started us thinking, but not really, seriously thinking. If you really want to know when it was announced, it was Rosh Hashanah, when Rabbi Rothwax said this was the last year Cal would be blowing shofar. I said, oh my gosh, we didn't tell anybody this. That was a little bit of a hint. And I said, we're on our way. So I'd really say from January then to June, because we put our house up for sale.
Wow.
We did very well. And it was the Gaza war. People said, you're really going? I said, yeah, we sold a house. We have an apartment.
We're
and
homeless.
We're homeless. Oh, I'm sorry. We came Pesach. We took our children away Pesach. And that's when we started looking for an apartment. We are renting here. We did not buy, which made it in some ways a little easier. You did ask us how we chose. You want to say
Yeah, I'm gonna
where
get
we
there.
wanted to live. Right.
I'm listening to your story first. Don't worry, I'll get to the questions.
Well, the story's basically, once we started, you got to keep moving. You got to sell your things. You got to sell it. You don't have to. Some people came without doing that. It's a lot easier than worrying. I heard you have a little snow now, as an example. You don't have to worry about who's shoveling the snow. Sell your house and come.
It took us about
January. to
5
June.
months
Yeah.
to empty out the house
Wow.
slowly. Well, because we did it slowly. I mean, every week.
I think
would go
that's fast. I thought that 5 months sounds like very fast to me.
It's not hard.
Anyway, so which neighborhood are you in now?
Well, right now, we're in
North.
what's called North Talpiot. It's
Bordering
actually-
Arnona.
It's bordering Arnona and Baca, which is south of the old city,
Mhm.
south of the center of town.
Putting more than that.
Okay. And so you didn't move here first, so you moved to someplace else first, and then you,
No,
no, that's
we-
right.
Yeah.
We rented this apartment.
right.
We started the renting process Pesach before we made Aliyah.
Okay.
And met with an attorney, gave him power of attorney,
Missed that.
and
Missed that.
actually started renting the apartment in June, even though we didn't arrive until July.
Okay, so you think, do you feel your Aliyah was pretty smooth because you did so much work beforehand and you were ready just to, you kind of sort of started a clean slate?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I didn't have to look for a job.
Exactly, I
It
was just
made-
gonna
it made
say.
Life easier.
If someone's coming and their children, with children to go to school, they have to look for schools, a
Right.
job. Coming retired, you're not going that path. There's a whole different lot
Right.
of where to live, which schools would the children fit in. That's a different here.
So,
Here, we're just looking for an Anglo community.
okay, and so now that you're there, and thank God you had retired, so you moved there and you have time. So how do you spend your time?
Babysitting,
Well, shopping is a lot.
Shopping.
Going to the supermarket is a major event for the week.
Okay,
I know you laugh, but it's a different
I
situation
understand.
here.
so you said shopping and Barbara said babysitting.
Babysitting, shiurim,
Sure.
I have,
exercise.
all right, I have a special share to go to show you how things changed. It's silly to talk about COVID because that will be a very upsetting topic.
No,
When it
go
ended,
ahead.
No, everything ended. We couldn't go in person. Everything was on Zoom. Some people like Zoom better. It could have been last year. I had a year being on Zoom with Matan. Some people said, gee, I could have my coffee and be home and not go. And some people like to go in person. It just so happened, the place I'm going to on Monday, we went back and things got a little worse and it's going to be back on Zoom tomorrow.
Mm.
I also do a volunteering on another day for food packing with
Okay,
some friends and different things.
okay, that's the kind of stuff we want to hear about. So you're volunteering, you're learning, you're babysitting, you're shopping, you're living,
Exercise.
exercise. Okay, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. And I know you're you're still very much in communication with the Beth Aaron members. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, a lot of Beth Aaron people live around here.
Mhm.
We see them. Some friends, when they come to visit their children, call us, so we get to see them that way. Wish there were more doing that.
Mhm.
We are not going back right now. If we were, there would be, friends to visit. So we are in touch, whether we're just in touch with WhatsApp or email
Mhm.
for those who aren't visiting. But when friends visit, we're very happy that they're including us. So we
Mhm.
could meet them. And as I said, some live around here.
We
And
have
yeah, so we're in touch.
a US phone line using Magic Jack, which I would recommend.
Okay.
It
What's that?
connects to the router of our computer.
Mhm.
And I would recommend
No
that
one
because
uses
if
it.
you still have relationships, whether it's family, friends in the States, it makes life a lot easier. They can call you, it's a local number, we can call them.
That was before WhatsApp. Everyone's using WhatsApp, so that's
Well,
not an issue.
No, if it still works, it still works. Whatever works for you works. So
Right.
that's great. That was a good point.
Right.
Okay, and can you share any special memories of Beth Aaron? I know it's been a while, and I know you were there 40 years. So, just thinking about anything, your shofar blowing is very much.
That's it. You said it then.
I'm sure there's more than just shofar, not just, but I'm sure there's in
No,
addition
but
to
you said
shofar
a
blowing.
memory, so I'll give that to Cal.
well,
Okay, Cal.
aside from shofar blowing, I was also the first chairman of the building committee when we first purchased the property.
Oh,
And then subsequently, years later, after the building was built, I was asked to be chairman again and did a lot of what they call here shiputzim, which is basically fixing some of the problems.
mhm.
I think I sent an email, I think it's Tamale Fish that listed all of the stuff that I was involved with. And, you know, there's always fond memories of events that happen.
Anything in particular? Any events in particular?
Oh, yeah, now that you said it,
And-
that was a lot of fun when Bucky had all his perm spiels.
Okay.
And, yeah, you know, it's funny, I didn't write it down since you said some notes to help us with, but as you said it, to remember, we had some fun times doing
That's
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The
Yeah,
poor-
we have some videos we saw, yes, exactly.
Mhm.
You know, we once went to one of them as a tooth fairies. That was-
Please, no, that's not what we're talking about.
I think that's wonderful. Keep going.
We can name them all, we're not gonna say, we did win once,
Okay.
driving Miss Daisy, that was our, and I'll tell you who was number one, but you might want to look that up on your own,
Okay, that's pretty good. That's
if you wanted in the memory, yeah. But you did ask also
Mhm.
about with the transitioning here, what's different, what to help people with.
yes,
I will
yes.
tell you, I mean, Cal mentioned shopping, we're not shopping all the time, because he never used to shop, so that's a big deal for him now, to shop. He didn't shop in Teaneck, I did, okay. There's a big change in coming here, what you have to get used to if you're telling other people, not just the culture, but the difference in shopping and what we have, the cost of living, the cost of vitamins and foods a lot higher, and there's nothing like the meat in Teaneck. It's not the same thing as what you're shopping for here, without naming the stores, and which I don't have to name, which everyone knows. So that's the things you have to get used to. It's not the same.
Mhm.
And you can, oh, and you also can't compare in the beginning, everyone right away, what does this cost in dollars? Someone who just moved here with, you have to get used to the.
Right. You
the
gotta
price
make that,
is.
you gotta make that plunge and just go
Yes.
all in.
I would say that people that come here and are flexible have an easy adjustment.
Mhm.
The culture is different. You're not,
Oh,
not only is it in Teaneck, it's not the United States. And one of the things that, you know, was a pleasant surprise was meeting other people from different countries. I mean, when you talk Anglo, it's not the United States. It's the United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia,
you're living out the
Britain,
United Kingdom,
you know, and that's
England.
just the Anglos.
And they don't
then
talk
you
like
have-
us.
Right. So it's a whole different culture. You have to be willing to adjust to that.
Mhm.
And that would be my, you know, my most important piece of advice. Come here being willing to be flexible and to adjust to a different culture. It's not the same culture.
Not to keep comparing,
Mhm. Mhm.
we were.
Sure. Well, that's part of the transition. You know, you hold on to what you're familiar with until you get to, you know, till you get familiar with something else, something new. So that does make sense. How's-
Also, Esther,
Yeah.
being with people like yourselves, since
Right.
we are in an Anglo community,
Right.
makes it a lot easier. Some people want to go to an more Israeli community, maybe when they're a little younger than us, and then they're learning the language better. We didn't even talk about that.
I was gonna
Do
ask
I make
about that.
myself understood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How-
You
When you
marry
went,
someone who has a college graduate.
when you went to Israel, how did you feel your conversational Hebrew was?
Well, the conversational Hebrew was not good, even though I had 15 years of Hebrew education. But I hadn't used it in a long time, 45, 50 years. Plus, what you learn in school is
Not conversation.
educational Hebrew. It's not conversational Hebrew. I mean, and that's not only true of American Olim, that's probably true of every Olim, including people from the Middle Eastern countries.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's a different language.
Mhm.
On the other hand, when we have company or invited to someone else, we're not talking, we're really not speaking in Hebrew.
Mhm.
I mean, it's in the stores that I'm using the words I know to make myself understood, but it is what it is. We're not using it that much.
Were you in Ulpan when you went?
Oh, yeah, many.
Many.
Cal was a graduate.
Barbara went to Ulpan. I didn't, I started with Ulpan, but I found that it really wasn't helping me.
Mhm.
What would help me more would be to turn on the radio and listen to the radio, the talk shows. I mean, the moderators speak very, very quickly.
Mhm.
But the people that call in speak a lot slower, kind of like me. So you pick up the words, your ear gets attuned to the language. And obviously, if I had been working or if I had been volunteering on a regular basis and conversing in Hebrew, that would have been a lot quicker to adjust.
Mhm. Mhm. And when you, any particular stories that stand out that kind of took you by surprise? I don't know, something that you've seen, something that kind of like, everybody has a story, and when they go to Israel, they're like, something that took them by surprise. Anything like that happen? You could think
If
of.
you had written it, I might have thought of something.
That was one of the questions I maybe didn't express myself really.
And,
You might have, but I didn't really, nothing that.
That stands out.
how
nothing
bad the
that
weather
stands
is,
out.
the few times it did snow a little bit, you got to stay in.
but-
They don't clear the streets.
Right. They're not
That's
used to that.
yeah, yeah. As long as my son made it to the hospital beforehand, almost in, for a baby born, very dangerous roads.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
Can you tell us about your kids and how old your grandkids are?
That might take more than the 20 minutes that you're giving us.
Okay, starting
Wait,
at the top,
wait.
our oldest granddaughter, who is now married, she's in her early 20s, attending Hebrew University, down to our youngest granddaughter, who is
Going to be 2 next month.
could be 2.
Wow. Wow. I'm
So-
so happy for you that you're there and able to be, in-person grandparents and enjoying all your nachas locally. So I think that's just wonderful. It's wonderful to see you happy. You look the same. You have not aged, but you look wonderful. So it's been
All right, the last thing I want to end on
go ahead.
a Beth Aaron note is Beth Aaron's a very special shul, very caring, warm shul. You're not getting that here. You just asked what's different. You're not getting Rabbi Rothwag speaking. We don't have a Devar Torah like that.
Right.
We don't have the same, it's not a community
Right.
feeling. We
Especially
have
Yerushalayim.
community here. No, we have a group. I'm not saying we don't have friends here. It's not a warm community. If what people just did saying Tehillim for Lori and, meals and the Shiva visits and things like that, and whatever anybody needs. So I wanted you to keep that in back of your mind, that inside, that's what people miss here, a Beth Aaron.
And we have a chaviva, which is also unique. That's part of our shul
Absolutely.
benefit.
Absolutely.
And,
Having chocolate chip cookies show up when you're making your l'chaim for your daughter.
she's
Very special.
she makes things happen. We do
I
have a
don't
lot
know
of
that what Barbara said is true in every community, but Yerushalayim
Oh, okay.
is kind of like living in Manhattan.
correct.
And because there are so many
Yeah, the
shuls,
traffic and the noise.
people can go to one shul this week and another shul another week. So you don't have the same cohesiveness that you have, for example, in Teaneck, where you basically belong to one shul and you go there all the time.
We started with one shul. Teaneck has a lot more. You can keep going.
I know
to
exactly
another
what you
shul.
mean. I know exactly what you mean, you guys.
Okay, I just think he was right. What he's saying is it's more a community of the people in your shul. There are, but you asked us about our neighborhood.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, any last thoughts before we close?
Oh, that
Yes,
was the Beth Aaron.
That was
People
about
should-
there. Okay. Well, it
people
was,
should-
I'm sorry.
People should plan on coming.
Yeah,
You feel at home here, despite all the differences, despite the cultural difference. If you're an observant Jew, you feel at home here, much more so than Teaneck.
yes. I think that everybody would agree, whether they're
So
living
when it-
there or here. Yeah.
So when are you coming, Esther?
Yeah, well, we hope so. We hope we are going. Anyway, I just want to I'm just going to stop the recording, but hang on. So I just want to speak with you. Anyway, thank you again for giving us your time and letting us visit with you and catching up with you. So I'm going to